50% possibility of weather-related launch constraints. While we wait, let's meet the vehicle that will be taking RRT-1 to orbit today. Falcon 9 is a two-stage rocket developed and manufactured by SpaceX, known for its safe, reliable, and cost-effective access to space. It's also the first and currently the only orbital-class rocket that is capable of reflight. The two-stage Falcon 9 vehicle on your screen stands 229 feet tall, and when it's fully fueled, it'll hold just over 1 million pounds of propellant. And we began loading those propellants onto both stages of the vehicle at T-minus 35 minutes. Starting from the top of the rocket is the payload fairing, which is a protective shell that encases the payload or satellite that's being sent to space. The fairings are made of a carbon composite material and have a 17-foot diameter, which encapsulates enough space to accommodate an average-sized fire truck. The fairing, made up of two halves, will separate and jettison away from the vehicle
Stage 1 RP-1 loaded, complete.
Once Falcon 9 reaches space. Both of the fairing halves supporting today's mission are flight-proven and are flying for their second time. Once jettisoned, those fairing halves will fall back to Earth and splash down in the Atlantic Ocean, where they will be recovered by our fairing recovery ship, Dove. The second stage is powered by a single Merlin vacuum engine, or MVac engine, which is optimized to perform in the vacuum of space. After stage separation, the MVac engine will ignite and carry the payload to its final orbit. The second stage is connected to Falcon 9's first stage by the black composite inner stage, which houses the MVac engine and the system that decouples the two stages during stage separation. Below that is the first stage, which is powered by 9 Merlin engines. These 9 Merlin engines provide the initial thrust to lift Falcon 9 off the ground through the lower, thicker part of the atmosphere. There are 8 engines arranged around one center engine and are collectively held in place by a structure called the octaweb. Each of these Merlin 1D engines delivers about 190,000 pounds of thrust at sea level, which gives Falcon 9 a combined 1.7 million pounds of thrust. Shortly after liftoff, the two stages of Falcon will separate. Stage 2 will continue to take the payload to its desired orbit. Stage 1,
Falcon 9 tanks are pressing for strong back retract.
And Stage 1, which is also known as the booster, will return to Earth for recovery and reuse on a future mission using a combination of the Merlin sea level engines and the 4 titanium grid fins that are located near the top of the booster, which will guide the vehicle during its re-entry and landing. The Falcon 9 first stage is also equipped with 4 landing legs that deploy just before landing and allow for vertical touchdown on a drone ship or a
strong back retract has started.
We just heard that the strong back is beginning to retract. So at liftoff, the transport director will retract in order to clear the way for Falcon 9's ascent. And to prepare for that retraction, we'll see the clamps open around the second stage, and the TE will pull away in just a little bit from the rocket. So those are the clamp arms pulling away from the rocket, and then the strong back will begin to pull away from the vehicle. So at this point in the countdown, both the first and second stages are almost fully loaded with 1 million pounds of kerosene fuel and liquid oxygen. The first stage and second stage should finish loading propellant about a minute apart from each other. The first stage finishing up at T-minus 3 minutes in a few seconds from now, and the second stage at T-minus 2 minutes. The white clouds you see around the vehicle are formed as the chilled gas above the LOX tank liquid surface vents overboard to maintain pressure in the tank as needed. And when the gas comes out into the warmer Floridian air, it condenses the water in the air and forms those clouds that you are seeing on your screen. After the second stage is fully loaded, we will come up on...
Stage 1 LOX load is complete.
So we just heard the call out for stage 1 collapse load completion, and stage 2, we will be hearing the call for that one in just a little bit. And at T-minus 60 seconds, Falcon 9 will be in startup. And that means that the rocket's autonomous internal flight computers will have taken over the launch countdown. And after that, just inside of T-minus 2 seconds, we will light the Merlin 1D engines for liftoff.
Stage 2 launch load is complete.
And we just heard a good call out there. The payload continues to be healthy, and the Falcon 9 team is tracking no issues on the rocket. So at T-minus 1 minute and 45 seconds to liftoff, let's listen in as we hear a series of callouts that lead up to launch.
Right, go split those.
That white cloud from venting the TE LOX line is completely normal.
Falcon 9 is in startup.
Falcon 9 is now operating.
Go for launch.
42 seconds, all systems are go for the launch of today's mission. Let's sit back and watch.
T-minus 30 seconds. -15 seconds. T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Engines full power and liftoff. Go SpaceX, go Falcon, go RRT-1.
Vehicle is pitching downrange. Stage 1 propulsion is nominal.
Falcon 9 successfully lifted off space 40 at Cape Carlsbad during the engine that horizontally and known as gravity. We're still going up, also heading horizontal away from the rocket. So throttle, good call there. Let's go down the first stage in preparation for max air and pressure. Falcon 9 is now super. This is a critical number flight because the compressed Falcon 9 atmospheric pressure.
Execute.
And we execute in 17,000 miles per hour in order to go back down to Earth in orbit. To turn orbit, keep an eye on the stage 1 telemetry in the bottom corner of your screen.
Get started.
Next, several events come up in succession. Main engine cutoff, MECO, stage and start 1, Main engine order all 9 and step down to slow the vehicle down in or separation, which is the first stage separation on the second stage. By the end on the second stage, light will out as second engine 1 or S1. And burn lasting several minutes will propel the second stage and the payload to orbit. And in addition to the 3 major events, the fairing halves will separate shortly after 1. Keep an eye out. All of those events come up in just a few seconds. Maybe some of them happen back and window, stage up, and just as mine, we will not into physical stage separation. And the broadcast will follow the faster return to
received.
And then you can see the Antarctic. And as you can see on your screen, the amount of volume
C2 is internal.
Drone should
Internal, internal.
and we saw and heard the accessing the Falcon 9 rocket. It's been marked as 1 and the boosters landing Mars 600